Warning: do not attempt to perform any challenge or develop any mindset you are about to see. Viewer discretion is advised. How's everyone doing today? I want to give a quick or share a little lesson about how every little thing you do adds up, and everything you don't do adds up as well. So, the lesson is this. Let's say I have a pencil and I drop my pencil on the ground and I don't pick that pencil up. What's next? Now my table is getting cluttered. And maybe I decide, hey, I'm not going to clean my table up. If I don't clean my table up, then what's next? Fast forward a week, is my room dirty? And now let's say I let that go. What's next? Is my house dirty? Let's say now it's been a month and my whole house is dirty. What's next? Now maybe I don't feel like cooking a lot, so I'm going out to eat. I'm getting unhealthy. What's next? Now I'm sleeping in. I'm not waking up and doing the projects I should be doing or taking care of my health. I'm not working out. And what's next after that if I let that slide? It could be anything, right? Maybe now since I'm waking up late and showing up late to work. If I'm showing up late to work, what's next? Now, maybe I'm not performing as well at work. What's next? Maybe I lost my job. So now I have a dirty house. I'm unhealthy. No job. What's next? Do I lose my house? So, right, that's just a spin off scenario. But I love the lesson of saying that if I let one thing go, what's next? And it's a dangerous game because anytime you decide not to do something, you should ask yourself, if I'm not going to do that now, first of all, when am I going to do it? And but the dangerous thing is, what's next? What's the next thing I'm going to let slide? There's a lot of bad habits people get into, and maybe before the first time they ever did it, if they would have asked themselves, what's next? If I do that drug, if I go out to that party, if I lie to this person, if I cheat on this person, if I do that, what's next? What's the next thing I'm going to do if I'm willing to do that? Because if you don't try and think about your future at all, it may just blow up, right? It may not go down the path you thought it was going to lead you to. Right? Nothing's guaranteed, but if you don't think about the consequences of your actions, well, you're going to figure out shortly where they get you. But it kind of helps keep me on track of when I think about not cleaning something up or not going out to do something that I'm supposed to. If I don't do that today, right now, and I let that slide, what's the next thing I'm going to let slide? And I was throwing out examples for my health and my job, right? Really essential things. But look at things that can affect like your dreams and your goals. If you give up on one dream, what are you going to give up on next? You see all these people who give up on their dreams and their goals and their aspirations, or maybe a career because it got tough. And it's not that it's tough that they stopped, it's that they made a decision not to do one thing. And then that led to not doing another thing and another thing. And a good quote is that quitting during training is training yourself to quit. Well, it's the same thing in life. If there's something you need to do, no matter how small, and you don't do it, you're training yourself not to do the bigger things. And I say no matter how small because from this little lesson, I learned that nothing is small and everything adds up. Right? If you think it's something small as you dropping a crumb, a piece of food, and not picking it up, if you think that's small, you need to understand that it's not small, because understanding what that can lead to next. If you're not picking up crumbs, well, we've all heard of the crumb trail, right? Following the crumb trail, where does that lead to? So think about your future. I know it's a short little lesson, but it kind of helps you keep on track to stay persistent with the things you're doing and be resilient, not to give in to your lazy temptations to not act on what you want. And going along with how everything may seem small, well, it all adds up. So I'm sure it's like if you clean your room. I think when you're younger, or maybe you see people with a dirty house, what happens after you clean an area? It looks very nice, and we all know it would be much easier to maintain that area. It's like mowing the lawn. It's easier to mow it every week versus letting it build up. So same with a room or a house. If you would just pick up a couple pieces each day or each week when it started to get dirty again, it'd be no problem. But what happens when people let it go over weeks and months? It adds up to a pile, a big mess that whenever they decide to clean it, it could take weeks. I mean, it could take months depending how bad it is. So understanding the lesson that if you let one thing go, you better ask yourself, what's next? What am I going to let go next? Because depending what that leads to, you could end up in a different spot in life. And you may think picking up the pencil isn't a big deal, but a year later, you could find yourself in a dead end job that you never wanted to be in because you gave up on your dreams. So I hope that little lesson helped people, because truthfully, I think about that a lot. I think about if I decide not to do something, what's the next thing I'm going to let go? That's it. So whatever you got going on, keep pushing at it. Don't let things slide, especially things that you need to do to get to your dreams.